Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's having a good summer. I know mine's been really busy, but one of the things I've made time to do is to develop a new sheath design for my knives that I'm really pretty proud of. It's been a work in progress for, I don't know, about a year and a half since I've kind of first got to thinking about it, and I've finally been able to make it materialize. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of go over this new sheath design, but also go over kind of a little bit of the history of the sheaths that I've been making so you can kind of see how I ended up with what I've got now. So this is one of my original sheath designs, and it's a Kydex sheath. It's custom molded to the knife when the knife is made. It's got storage for about 15 feet of bank line, and it gives pretty good retention on the knife. It's adjustable for ride height and cant, and it comes with this belt loop design that I made. You might notice that, this is about an 8-inch belt loop here. And, so that'll fit any pants belt, obviously, but it'll also fit over your pack hip belt or your LBE, your battle belt, whatever kind of belt you want to put this knife on. It's as simple as sliding it through. Okay. There's no clips or anything to come undone, no snaps. It's sewn 100% solid, so your knife is gonna stay where you put it. Okay, or at least your sheath will. It's also got a section in the top, a pouch sewn in for a 1/2 inch by 6-inch ferro rod, and I put in a grommet so that you can dummy cord with some bank line so you don't lose your ferro rod. And it's been a good sheath design. Haven't really had any major issues with it. One thing I've noticed is over time, as you're sliding a knife in and out of the sheath hundreds of times, that hardened steel will wear on this Kydex, and the retention will loosen up. And in the past, all I'll do is just give these screws a little bit of a tightening. But I wanted something more secure than that. The original intent and thought process behind building this knife was, or any belt knife really, behind carrying a belt knife, is that it's with you no matter what. And so what I've started doing is using these coated nylon straps, these thumb brake straps, in addition to the retention from the Kydex. And you cannot get the knife out when this strap is made. It's a pull-to-dot snap, so it can only open in one direction. If you try to open it from any other direction, it won't go. Get hooked back on me. Okay. I can pull on it as hard as I want from the side. It will not come loose. Okay. And so what that allows me to do is reach down, grasp the knife, break it with my thumb, and remove the knife. Okay. Very, very secure. If you're fast roping or rappelling or fall down a cliff, whatever you're doing, that knife's not coming out of the sheath. I mean, you can try as hard as you want. Now, granted, there's a little bit of edge exposed there, but you're not getting the knife out of the sheath, okay, until you break that strap off. And if that's, if you don't really need that level of retention, you can always remove. It's just a Chicago screw, okay? So that's an optional upgrade. I'm not going to include that, but if that's something that interests you, it's an easy thing to add, okay? So some of the other features, this is the new design of sheath. And what I wanted to do was get away from just a straight Kydex sheath, because when we're talking about fieldcraft, one important fieldcraft skill is camouflage. Well, shine and sound are two elements of camouflage that we have to mitigate. Now, I could just spray paint this sheath to help mitigate some of this shine. But what I wanted to do was give it a covering so it would blend in easier. And then there's also the sound. If you imagine that you're hiking through a bunch of bushes and branches are hitting this thing, Kydex has a very loud sound to it. And so by adding a cloth cover, not only do I mitigate the shine, but I also mitigate the sound. Okay, it's a lot quieter than the loud clickiness of the Kydex itself. You can kind of hear that. All right, so this is a laser cut MOLLE pouch that I've made, and now that's what I'll be sending out with all my knives. Of course, having the MOLLE slots on the front allows you to add any small sized like compass pouch or first aid pouch. These two here are made by Bongo Gear. It's his compass pouches. They're a good pouch. And then this is just a surplus grenade pouch. It would also fit well. And there's other pouches out there too. I'm still looking for, the perfect pouch, so to speak. And being able to put a pouch on your knife is great because now this can be an all-in-one system. This is a prototype sheath I made, but if I had the ferro rod in here, I can have fire starting materials. It's basically like the old Mountain Man Possibles pouch here. I can have my fire starting kit. I can have some cordage, some emergency signal gear, water disinfection. I can also have knife maintenance items, like a small sharpener, some fix and wax, whatever. It's kind of up to you what you put in here, but having it ready to go out so that you can literally grab this, put it on your belt, and you've got some necessities handled. You can put snacks in there if that's what you want to do. So like I said, these are laser cut by me, sewn in-house by me. I've got, in addition to coyote, I've got olive drab, green, and multicam currently. But, if you're looking for something besides that, it's not that hard for me to get a yard of fabric and make some, and I'd be willing to deal with you on that. I feel like this sheath design is probably one of the most elaborate sheath designs out there. I feel like your sheath really should complement your knife. It doesn't make any sense to have a very high quality functional knife and then just throw it in a leather pouch hanging on your belt. I've had good knives that have fallen out of leather sheaths in the past. That's why I went to Kydex. And now I'm looking not just to have good retention, but also to have a very functional system. Like I said, I can grab this, put it on my belt, and I've got a lot of tools there at my disposal. You could literally put this with the appropriate equipment in here in your suitcase and travel with it anywhere in the world. And, you've got a hell of a good leg up in an emergency. You're able to take care of shelter, water, fire, at least for yourself and a small group, pretty easily. Now, is it the best field knife and sheath out there? I'm not sure. I think that's open to interpretation, but I haven't seen very many that are better. I'll put it that way. And, this one, I instructed field craft classes. I'm an infantryman myself. And so this has been designed with all that experience put into it. And this is a piece of gear that will last you a lifetime. All right. It's very high value. And while it is more expensive than, say, a lot of the cheaper offerings out there, I feel like you're getting a lot more value here than with those knives. Because by the time you buy a cheaper knife and then upgrade, you could easily just have bought this once and been done. I don't know of any other knives that include this level of detail and features and quality all wrapped up in one. And so if you're interested in ordering one, check out my blog at badlandsfieldcraft.wordpress.com or shoot me an email at shocktroop0351@tutanota.com. That's TUTANOTA.com. Thanks for watching.